right here with me, I have three Aputure light domes or light modifiers, as you can see in the background and right here. So I have the Light Dome Mini 3, the latest of Aputure's mini series. I also have the Light Dome SE. The SE is actually that side, and that is the cheapest of, one of the most popular Aputure light domes. And then I have the big boy right here, the Light Dome 3. It's not the biggest in Aputure's light dome lineups because there's the Light Dome 150, but this is one of the newest and also most popular Aputure light domes. And if you're looking forward to buying like light modifiers or soft boxes for your Aputure lights or any other lights that you want to basically make softer or add a grid or add diffusion to, these are some that I would recommend myself. So we're going to be looking at them side by side, comparing size, and then at the end I'm probably gonna do like a visual presentation just to show you how it looks and how the final product is if you were to choose the Light Dome Mini, the Light Dome SE, or the Light Dome 3, the big boy. So we'll begin with this Light Dome Mini. So this Light Dome Mini is the smallest among the three that I have right here, and even though it's the smallest, it's actually not the cheapest. So the Light Dome Mini 3 comes in at around $129, and that's before any sales or discounts. Sometimes Aputure offers like 30% off depending on the season, like Black Friday, Cyber Mondays and stuff, or on some other random days they just shoot or send an email that way we have 30% off. So the prices I'm giving you right now are before any sales or discounts. So the Light Dome Mini goes for, or is going for at the time of this recording, for $129. Now this Light Dome Mini, even though it's like the smallest that I have here, according to Aputure's website, it's actually not the lightest as well, because this Light Dome SE weighs about 1.1 kgs or 2.4 pounds, but the Light Dome Mini 3 here weighs about 1.3 kgs or 2.87 pounds. Doesn't really feel like it because, in my opinion, this feels heavier because it's longer. So the longer you go and you put weight on something, the more weight you're going to feel at the source. So I'm not sure why. I wish I had a scale to be able to tell, but according to Aputure, this Light Dome Mini 3 weighs about 1.3 kgs or 2.87 pounds. Now this light dome has like a diameter of about 2 feet or 60 centimeters. Now when I measured with my measuring tape, it was almost a half-inch smaller when I put everything together in the diffusion cloth, and that makes sense because as you put the layers together, they they pull on the edges a little bit, so you lose like half an inch from what I've been able to see. And this one comes with this egg crate or light grid, and this light grid is actually a 40 degree. So this light grid, if you put your light in there, it's going out at a 40 degree compared to the Light Dome SE that has a 45 degree. This one has a 40 degree, and if you can use it without this light grid, but your light is going to be more scattered, and if you don't want like light pollution around, you are going to get that if you don't use this grid. And it has one inner diffusion layer that you see right here on the outer part of this light grid. Inside there's one layer, unlike some like the Light Dome 3 or the Light Dome SE, they have two outer diffusion layers. And it also, for us to show you here, it also comes with this like gold inner diffusion layer. This can be gold or silver, so it has two different colors right there. And right now you're seeing the silver part, but there's also the gold part of it that you can choose if you want to have like your light warmer and be able to set it that way. So this is basically this Light Dome Mini 3. if you want to see it from a different angle, this is how it looks. It's a pretty small boy, and it's meant for like people that are working in crowded or tight spaces and want mobility, because it has this quick release plate as well, unlike the Light Dome SE that doesn't have that. This one, you can easily pull on it. Let me pull on it like this, and then it closes, and you can pack it in the bag and be able to travel without having to remove this grid like I showed when I reviewed this light. And then if you want to set it up, you don't have to put or pull, or like, you know, the Light Dome Mini 2, you had to pull on each of these individual spokes. But this one, you just basically push and it clicks in place like that. And now you have a good Light Dome, small portable Light Dome to be able to go where you want to go to and be able to enjoy your shoot. So it's pretty easy to put together, and it's a 16-sided according to Aputure. So if you were to count, I believe these rods, according to Aputure, that is 16 sides. And the bag that comes with this Light Dome Mini 3 is actually this one. So it's exactly the same as what comes in the Light Dome 3, but it's just a smaller size. So that's the Aputure Light Dome Mini 3. It's not the cheapest one, but it's the smallest one and most portable one at this point in time. I'll be doing a test to compare and show you how the light looks and the end product compared to the other two that I'm going to be doing next. But for now, let's look at the cheapest one. This is the Aputure Light Dome SE, and this guy is pretty cheap. You know, at the time I'm recording this video, this Aputure Light Dome SE is going for about $99 before any sales or any discounts. And this Light Dome is the most popular. Like if you notice, most TikToks or most YouTube videos, they are using this Light Dome SE. And this one has a diameter of about 33.5 inches. When I measured it using my measuring tape, I got 33 inches again after I put everything together. So you do lose half an inch when you put the grid and the inner cloths together. And something that I should highlight about this Light Dome, it's cheap for a reason, right? Because if you watch my Aputure Light Dome SE video that I did when I put it together and put it apart, these rods that you see here, you know, you have to actually put them together individually, and that requires a lot of energy and a lot of effort. The same amount of effort that you put in when you are actually putting it together is the same amount of effort that you do or that's required when you are actually tearing it apart. Check out the video that I did when I reviewed this, because oh my goodness, I was actually sweating and dying. And it comes with this light grid, or the egg crate according to Aputure, that gives it a 45 degree. So instead of a 40 degree that comes with the Light Dome Mini 3 or the Light Dome the big boy that you see there, the Light Dome 3, those two have a 40 degree. This one has a 45 degree. So instead of your angle being, you know, a little bit tight, it goes out a little bit. It's 5 degrees wider than the other two. So this is the Light Dome SE. Has a disadvantage, and also for some reason I can't be able to, you know, tighten this part of this, because this keeps spinning even though this part is tight. Maybe I got a defective product. I never dropped it or did anything, but yeah, that's how it looks. So in addition to the egg crate, the 45 degree egg crate, you have two like layers here that are numbered 1 and 2, and the first one is actually a 1.5 light stop, and then the second layer, the white layer that you see there, is a 2.5 stop that has a label that says 2. And it has the standard Bowen mounts, that's a 3-spoke like the other 3 lights or 2 lights that I have behind me. And basically this is how this Aputure Light Dome SE looks like. This is the best value for money if you are, you know, looking to get an Aputure Light Dome or Aputure Light Modifier or Aputure Softbox. $99, it's pretty cheap. And it also comes with this like inner diffusion cloth that you see here, and this one, you know, in addition to the other two layers in the grid, you know, goes a long way in trying to give you softer light. And this one is just white, unlike the Light Dome Mini 3 that has silver and gold. This one, both sides are just, you know, white, and it looks pretty much the same either way. Whether you face it this way or the other way, it's the same. So this is this, and the weight of this, you know, like according to Aputure, 1.1 kgs, and it has 16 flexible glass rods or fiberglass rods that are able to be flexed. And this one is good for you for value for money, and if you're not going to be tearing your setup apart so many times, because it's a headache, guys. Now that's about it for the Light Dome SE. Now this is, out of the three, this is my current favorite, and it's probably the one that I'm gonna keep out of these three, and this is the Aputure Light Dome 3. This one is a big boy. Although it looks big, it's actually not as heavy, because this Light Dome 3 comes in at a weight of, according to Aputure, 2.2 kgs or 4.94 pounds. And you can see here in front, the diameter of it is pretty big. So it has a diameter of 3 feet or 90 centimeters. So while the Light Dome SE is 33.5 inches, this one is 3 feet or 90 centimeters. And it comes with two different diffusion layers in addition to the light grid. So you have the light grid outside, and then you have two diffusion layers that are pretty much the same amount of light stops, and they are not numbered like diffuser 1 and 2 like what we have with the Light Dome SE. And also this egg crate or this light grid gives you about a 40-degree angle with your light, unlike the Light Dome SE that gives you 45 degrees. So if you're using the Light Dome SE, your angle is like this, and if you use the Light Dome 3, you have 5 degrees less, as it's a 40-degree. Now, unlike the Light Dome SE, this Light Dome 3 has a quick release plate light here, and this one let me see if I can show you how hard it is to actually fold. So let me pull on this. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this pretty quick. So yeah, that's how you fold it. And now once you fold it, you can actually be able to fit it in the bag and push it down. And this is the bag that it comes in, and it looks like this. It's very similar to the bag that the Light Dome Mini 3 comes in. So these bags are exactly identical inside out, and they have the same amount of zips. This is for the Light Dome 3. This is for the Light Dome Mini 3. And the only difference is the size. You can fit it in without having to disassemble everything, but you know, I did a full video on it. You can see what happened when I did that. And then this is the bag that comes with the Light Dome SE, the cheap one. Now this bag has pockets on this side here, and it has 2 extra rods, because those rods, you know, feels like they're gonna break. But yeah, this is what you have for the Light Dome SE. If you want to set it up, you have to push with your palm here, and then add support, and then get grid, and then try and put all your energy. Come on. Okay, I got it. Believe me, guys, it actually takes a lot of effort to unfold it and to be able to bring it back again, because you know, you have to be able to have enough force to push these rods apart and then push it in. So on Aputure's video, when they show this, it was actually easier than it actually is in real life, and you can see the struggle that I had when I did the actual video for this. So this is how this Light Dome 3 looks. At the time of this recording, it's the most expensive out of the 3 that I have right here. It's at $219 before any discounts, and this is now how it looks. I'm going to go ahead and begin with the smallest light dome in the same order I review them and show you how the light looks on my face. What you are looking and seeing right now is the result from the Aputure Light Dome Mini 3. If I go to my other angle, you can see where it is right there. And right now, this light that you see here is not going to be turned on. It's just a fill light that I use. If I was to turn it on, you can see how it looks, but I'll keep it off for now. And I use this when I'm doing like top down, but this is how the light looks when it comes to the Aputure Light Dome Mini 3. Now, this is the smallest of the three of the lights that I reviewed, and you can see when it comes to the light that it's giving, when I look at it, because it has one cloth or one diffusion cloth on the outer part of the light, in addition to the 40-degree grid, when I look at it, it actually looks a little bit harsh, you know, because the grid is not as soft when it comes to the light that it's giving. You know, this side of my face where the Light Dome Mini is facing has, you know, more light, but then you can see the other side that it's not able to go around as much, and the light it's giving is a little bit harsh. Right now, my Aputure Amaran 200XS is set at 45% brightness, and I have the color temperature, it's the same. So those settings are going to be the same right here. And because my set allows me to have A-roll with this camera that you're seeing and B-roll from the top-down camera, if I press 2, this is how, you know, like a product review would be looking like. If I was to, you know, say for example, I'm reviewing WatchOS or reviewing a product like this Lexa micro SD card, this is how the light looks on a top-down camera. If I go wide, this is how it looks. That's my iPhone, by the way, that I'm switching to. And on my main camera, this is how it looks. So now I'm going to go ahead and switch to the Aputure Light Dome SE, the cheaper one, and see whether it makes a difference from the Light Dome Mini 3 that you're looking at right now. Okay. Right now, I've changed up the light from the Aputure Light Dome Mini 3 to the Light Dome SE, the cheapest light dome modifier or soft boxes from the three that I've unboxed and showed you in the meantime. This is how the results look with the Aputure Light Dome SE. Now, when I look at the light right now, and if I switch to my other angle right there, the light looks more evenly distributed, unlike the Light Dome Mini that showed the center of the light as being colder or, you know, darker than the edges, because the inner baffle, the silver piece that I put close to the Light Dome Mini, this one has two outer layers that diffuses the light more, and you can see basically how this light looks. And I think it actually looks darker and more softer compared to the Light Dome Mini 3. The distance didn't change, it's still at the same distance, and what you are looking at is the Light Dome SE. Now, if I was to do a top-down view, this is how the Light Dome SE looks. So this is the Lexa 256 micro SD card. It has a transfer speed of 100 MBs and U3 4K UHD and stuff, but you get the idea that I'm trying to convey here when it comes to a top-down shot. Now, if I go back to my main A-roll, this is how the product or the final product looks with the Aputure Light Dome SE, the cheap one that I feel like if you have a set like this where you are not removing and then putting things back together so often, it's probably the best out of the three and the best value for money. But also, you know, remember to check out my video that I did on this Light Dome SE, because it's not the easiest to set up and it's also not the easiest to put apart. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove this Light Dome SE, and then I'll be able to put the Light Dome 3, the big boy, and be able to see which one basically wins. right now I've switched from the Aputure Light Dome SE to the Aputure Light Dome 3, and this is the actual light dome that you're looking at right now. If I look at the light, it looks evenly distributed, it's soft all the way around, and just by looking at the final product or the picture that I'm seeing right now, my face, you know, the lighter part that's lit seems to be soft as well. Even though this Light Dome 3 doesn't have like an inner baffle or, you know, softener that's closest to the light, it only has the two outer edges and the 40-degree light grid or egg crate. And if I go on a wide angle, this is how this light dome is looking. Now mind you that my iPhone is the one that's my other angle, and it's probably showing everything as overexposed, but right now this is how my Sigma 16mm with the Sony ZV-E10 looks with the Light Dome 3. This is probably the light dome that I'm going to be keeping out of the 3, but you know, value for money, it's probably not the best because it comes in at more than 2 times the price of the Light Dome SE. But looking at the results, I actually don't think the results is 2 times the results of the Light Dome SE. So let me know what you think about this. You know, looking at the arrow right now, do you think the Light Dome SE looks better than the Light Dome 3? Or out of the 3, do you prefer the Light Dome Mini? Now, because I have, you know, another angle, you see this camera right there, that is my top-down angle camera. And if I was to switch to this top-down angle, you can see here how it looks, and the light looks more evenly distributed. It's true that yes, I'm still gonna have darker shadows on this edge of the light or this portion of the video, but then the light really reaches right at the edge, unlike the Light Dome Mini. And also it seems to be a little bit better than the Light Dome SE. So this is how it would look, for example, if I was doing like a watchOS video or an iOS or a review of a product like this micro SD card, 100 megabits transfer speed, 4K Ultra HD V30, and basically this is how the Light Dome 3 looks when I'm doing a top-down video. Now let me know what you think about this video. Do you prefer the Light Dome 3? Do you prefer the Light Dome SE, the cheaper version? Or do you prefer the more smaller, portable, but not so cheap Light Dome Mini 3? So those are all the 3 light domes that I have had the privilege to be able to test out. Aputure didn't really send them out. I actually bought them with my own money. I'm just trying to see which one fits best in my environment because I'm shooting in a pretty tight space. That's why I'm shooting with the 16mm Sigma lens, just to make the space look a little bit wider. And behind me, of course, you saw the boxes and everything, and I reviewed and set these lights up and set them apart in their own separate videos. But I think I'm going to be sticking with the Aputure Light Dome 3 for now. Looking at the light, it looks pretty evenly distributed. I don't have any hotspots, and I like the results that I'm seeing with the Aputure Light Dome 3. But the SE is also really good value for money. But the Light Dome Mini 3 is very good value for money if you want something that's portable and small. Maybe in the future, if I want to replace this ring light that came with this stand, maybe I'll replace it with the Light Dome Mini 3, but maybe we'll see where that takes me. But for now, this is how my current setup looks, and I'm using the Aputure Light Dome 3 for now. And yeah, let me know which one you prefer out of the 3. So that's about it for me, guys. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. And if you have something particular or specific that you want me to be able to test out, like for example the light I'm using, the Amaran 200 XS, I haven't reviewed it yet. I don't know if I will, but yeah, if you want to see a video on that, let me know. And check out my other videos. Like, I cover a lot of tech products like iOS, watchOS, macOS, and just general tech products. And yeah, if you like it, stick around, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.